Hey, y'all, welcome to Sidewinder Shed. Um, Saturday, Saturday afternoon, February 15th. Been a while since I did a live stream. I didn't get a chance to do one last week. I was going to go on this morning at my normal time too, but again, it just seems life gets in the way. Stuff happens. So I figured the wife is taking a nap right now. The dogs are taking naps. And my brother in law is at the VFW playing pool. So, yeah, I'm kind of unsupervised at the moment. Nobody's here. And I figured I'd take a little bit of advantage of this break to hop on for a few minutes. And of course, I know this is going to blow everyone away. I don't expect anyone to even see me right now because it's the middle of the afternoon, and I'm usually on first thing in the morning, or fairly early in the morning. For me, actually, first thing in the morning is 0300 hours, 3 o'clock. That's what time I usually get up. I slept in late today. I didn't get up until almost 10 minutes to 5 this morning. So, yeah, today's a lazy day. It's cold. It's raining here in Virginia. Um, Everything, again, uh, it's not cold enough for it to be freezing. So, my backyard again is nothing but a mud pit and a small lake. It's been drizzling and raining all week. I think we've got like 3 inches of rain throughout the week, and unfortunately, it's been just a slow drizzle all day long for several days. So the water is soaking right into the ground. Everything is soaking wet. Everything is turned to mud, and uh, and it's cold. And it's cold. It's not even a pleasant rain. It's just friggin' cold. The other day it did get below freezing, and it turned to freezing rain and then sleet and then nothing but ice in the morning at 4 o'clock when I leave for work. But that's okay. I wasn't worried because I've been using my brother-in-law's truck while I'm waiting on the transmission for my truck. So I mean, that's not my vehicle. I ain't gonna worry about it, right? Just kidding. That makes me more nervous than taking a chance with my own vehicle because it just happens. Stuff happens, and I get some sort of notification here. Well, we'll get rid of it. Oh no, no, I didn't say pop up. I said disappear. Phew. There we go. Let's see what this button does. Let's see. How is the audio? All right, everything looks good. Yep. All right, just wanted to make sure that the mic was working. Okay. All right. So, couple little things. I've put out, I guess, in between the last 2, 3, 4 days, something like that. I put out a couple of shorts, a couple of a little bit longer videos, not by much. I think the longest one's like 7, 8 minutes. Um, but I did a video on comparing two bypass hoses for my truck for the 360 engine. And my God, that thing took off. Almost 2,000 views. Uh, that's a lot and that wasn't even a short. The short version of that video has only got like 600 views, I think. It might be 400. It didn't get that many. The long version got almost 2,000 views, and I don't know why. I have no idea. But that's a lot for one of my videos. Don't get me wrong, I do have a few full length videos. One is 22 minutes long that What did it have? Oh, I can't remember if that one has 22,000 or 62,000 views on it, but it's right up there. Um, and then I have a few others that have 5,000 and 7,000 views, but those are older videos too. They're almost 2 years old, and that's just acquired over time. Uh, this here within the last 48 hours, 2,000 views, and it blew my mind. Anyway, I want to thank you. Anyone that saw it, commented, watched it, hey, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And there were a few things, few comments on there. One, uh, I forgot. I'm just used to having everybody knowing what I'm talking about in the vehicles I work on and everything. So it's usually the same few hundred people that watch my channel. And I forgot to mention that the bypass hoses that I got, they're going on 2 different engines right now. I got them just to see what the difference was between $8 and $23. And watch that video. It'll show you the difference. But I made another video earlier today explaining and showing what those 2 bypass hoses are for. And one is for, of course, my Dodge, my pickup truck, 92 W250, which is a 3/4 ton 4x4 truck, and it's got the 360 throttle body injected LA engine, not the Magnum, but it's a factory roller cam LA engine. And yeah, I showed that's what I use the Gates, the $23 hose on, because as soon as I get the transmission in it, it's going to be back to being my daily driver. But what I have in the shed is a few years ago, I built another 91 360 LA factory roller cam engine. And what I did with that is that one was slightly modified. It's a little bit higher compression, actually quite a bit higher compression for just regular daily driver. It went from, they say roughly that the 360 TBI engines, the smog motors from that era, around the late 80s, early 90s, they run about 8.1 to 8.5 compression. This one that I built went a little higher than I wanted, but it's 9.7 to 1 compression. Hey, Eric. Hey, Justin Hill. Eric, how you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while. Justin, appreciate you stopping by. You guys got snow? Yeah, Virginia already had 2 snowstorms. We are actually 3 snowstorms. We might get another one, and I mean, I can't remember. It's been years, if not a full decade, that we've had 3 snowstorms here in Virginia, in the Richmond area, Central Virginia, where we've had 3 snowstorms within 2 weeks. That's very uncommon. And so was the cold weather that came in with them. That was miserable. Eric, I know you're used to the cold weather, buddy, so forgive me if I seem like I'm whining about it. It's just it's been 30 years since I've lived in an area, New England, that we got snow on a regular basis and cold. Yeah, and I'm sure cold in Idaho too. Yeah, I'm sure it is, Justin. And yeah, Eric, when you tell me you have a bit of snow, okay, all right, are we talking, centimeters, or are we talking meters? In other words, are we talking inches or feet of snow when you say you have a little bit? Oh, and oh my God. Let me say hello to my nephew. This is my nephew, Kenneth. I'm glad you showed up, buddy. Glad to see you. Thank you for stopping by, Kenny. I appreciate it, buddy. And yeah, like I said, Justin is cold in. Yeah, I can imagine it's cold in Ohio. Okay, 1.2 centimeters. All right, can you do a quick conversion for me, Eric? Because I'm thinking that's around 2-3 inches, or am I way off? I'm thinking that's 1 to 2 centimeters. Okay, and I think a centimeter. Centimeter is what, about a quarter of an inch? Yeah. Centimeter is a little bit bigger than, well, a little bit less than 3/8 of an inch. Or no, a little bit bigger than 3/8 of an inch. So you got about an inch or so is what I'm thinking. Then I'm trying to go off the top of my head here because, yeah, about half an inch. Yeah, okay. All right, because I had to go back to automotive. 10 millimeter, I understand, is a little bit bigger than 3/8 of an inch, but smaller than 7/16. So it's a little bit bigger. It's right in between the two. And 10 millimeter is 1 centimeter. So yeah, so you'd be right around between 1 to 2 centimeters would be, yeah, roughly around a half inch, I guess. Yep. Oh, just Kenny. By the way, Kenny, yeah, you can wait all you want for the snowstorm, like the blizzard of '78 up in Massachusetts and everything. Wait all you want. Just do me a favor. Wait for it up there. Don't bring the shit down here. Don't bring the stuff down here, man. I don't want to deal with it. And Justin, no, I'm not at work working. I did work this morning because you know, married honeydew list. So I did that this morning. And with all the work I did this morning, it tuckered the poor wife out, so she had to go take a nap. So I've been working. If I did enough work to tire the wife out, yeah, I did some work. And we're talking G-rated, not X-rated work here. Okay. Yeah, no, I was doing work around the house and on the vehicles. But anyway, let me give me. I'm gonna keep the headphones on so you can hear me, but I gotta see what I have over here. See if I got some soda left. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have some soda. Good deal. And yeah, it's soda. And what do we got going on here, Eric? Let's see. Sounds like every American is experiencing the 10 millimeter socket disappearing. Oh, yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it gets hard to remember it. Like I said, I have to go by memory. I don't have one around that I can look at and go, oh, yeah, I got you. There's a centimeter. Put two of those together. Gotcha. No, I have no visual because as soon as you put them down, they disappear. I mean, seriously. If you all watch Doctor Who, I believe him and the TARDIS come by as soon as you set down a 10 millimeter and go, ha ha, boom. They come by and grab it. He probably loses the damn things too. And I'm talking old Doctor Who, obviously. But anyway, give me a second here too, because I need a glass for my soda. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm coming back. I'm here. I was ill prepared this afternoon. My apologies. But anyway, like I was saying, I put out a couple videos this in the last few days, and I was really surprised on the one about the difference in the hoses. That took off big time. Um, the other one is, and I do want to put this out there for you guys and see what y'all think. Need a battery for my truck. And I had one of those 6-pack batteries, is what we used to call them, but it's an AGM battery, which is a gel battery instead of a lead acid liquid battery, and it's an Optima red top battery. Okay, and I know my nephew Kenny was asking about those a while ago as well when he needed one. Now, the one I bought it 15 years ago, and it was abused. All right, I can't blame anyone but myself. It's been discharged. It's jumped from vehicle to vehicle several times. And all right, Kenny, you take care, buddy. Give Nina a hug for me. My nephew, he's got to go check on Nina. Anyway, for me though, it was a good battery. Almost 15 years. This April would be 15 years that I had it. And it's been a real good battery. And like I said, I've really abused it. I would like to get another one. Now, they are a bit expensive, but the top of the line regular lead acid battery for my truck in this area is going for $276. The same battery that I have in the truck right now, which is 800 cold cranking amps, and I think it's 900 or maybe 1,000 cranking amps. I'll have to check it. That's going for roughly the same price. I think it's right here, right now. I saw it online anyway. I can get one online. And honestly, I think it was $250. Maybe it was a sale. I don't know. But I'm thinking for around the same price. And seeing as I got 15 years out of this red top, I think I'd like to try that again. Because the best I've ever gotten out of a lead acid battery, no matter the size, no matter who made it or anything, was 7 years. And now this was decades ago, where the charging systems weren't all that great, and maybe even the components they made the battery out of wasn't up to date. I don't know. Those might have changed. But all I know is I'm not putting it in a new vehicle anyway. I'm putting it in a decades old vehicle with the same type of charging system. I'm putting it in a 35-year-old vehicle or a 33-year-old vehicle. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Anyone else have experience with those Optima batteries? The newer ones anyway, something that's a bit newer than 15 years ago? You know, because I know a lot of things have changed. But yeah, I'm just kind of interested in that. With that being said, I do have another transmission coming for my truck. Yeah. I hate to admit it. It's really killing me to admit it, but trying to rebuild this one, there's something still going on, and I'm really leaning towards the fact that I'm having problems with it right now in the same area that was worn out, and what caused me to take it apart and try to rebuild it myself in the first place, and that's the reverse band and drum and everything. And then, of course, I have a video of where the little wedge or whatever they call it fell out, and it wiped out the new reverse band and the drum, and I replaced that. And now the same thing's happening. The wedge just doesn't want to stay in place. And yes, I've tightened it. I torqued it properly. I did everything I could, and I'm not pulling that transmission out again to hopefully fix it. So I got another transmission coming, but I am keeping this transmission. There's too many new parts in it, and it's too good. But anyway, I will be hooking that. I can use it still the way it is. I mean, the truck still goes forward and backwards. I just don't want to wipe it out completely. But I'm going to use that transmission. I'm going to hook it to that purple engine that I built, and I'm going to make a run stand this spring, and I'm going to get that engine running in the shed outside of the truck before I ever put that engine back in the truck, before I do the engine swap. But anyway, that's plans for the future. But Eric, yeah, speaking of cold weather, Google says it's -8 degrees Celsius tonight. Google also did a conversion for you, 17.6 degrees Fahrenheit. I haven't been much outside today except for some wind. I think it's pretty dry. Okay, that's cool, man. Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, in Virginia, that's when I said it was cold this winter. Very unusual, but yeah, we've had temperature down, same temperature in the teens, anywhere from 19 degrees Fahrenheit right down to 11 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's without the wind chill factor. That's just regular outside temperature. Of course, that was at night. In the daytime, though, yeah, I've gone into work. Actually, I went into work when it was 12 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah. Virginia is very humid, irregardless. And you would think, well, if the temperatures uh, would stay colder, a little bit colder than what they are right now, we probably would get a lot more snow than we do rain. But that's the biggest thing about Virginia. We actually will get freezing rain before we get snow. It's a lot of people don't understand. Sometimes it does, especially in the upper atmosphere. It gets too cold to snow. The moisture just freezes into ice before it turns into snowflakes. So I don't know, maybe it's an old wives' tale, but that's what I've always been taught and told. But anyway, yeah, there's nothing like a cold, damp day. I mean, that really gets into your bones. And that's what we're having right here. That's what I'm having today is a cold, damp day. And I don't know exactly what the temperature is, but it is chilly. And what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to turn the damn heater on. It's down here by my feet. My legs were getting cold. But Eric, it's good to see you, buddy. Good to talk to you. Or good to have you see me and listen to me. That's awesome. And Justin, yes, I appreciate you stopping by, man. It's great. Great to see you guys. Great to have you all here. Okay, now I've gotten off a few other tangents. Yeah, I can't remember what the heck I originally had to say, other than I think I've covered most of it about what my plans are. Well, no, I haven't. My plans are, when the transmission gets here for the truck, that should take me roughly a weekend, depending on weather, to swap it out. I'm not pulling the old transmission out until the new one gets here, just in case. Like I said, the truck is still movable right now, and I don't want to put it into a condition where I can't move it if I need to. So I'm going to wait until I have all my ducks in a row and have everything here, and then I'll swap it out. And then after that, when the weather finally stopped being bipolar, because like I said, it's been cold and wet here, but we also had a few days that, my God, it was in the mid 60s. And it's just, yeah. And one day, get up to 64 degrees. The very next day, at the very same time, it was 29 degrees. So, I mean, it's 65 or 35-degree difference. And this is in Fahrenheit, Eric, I'm sorry. But a 35-degree drop within less than 24 hours. I mean, that was, like I said, Mother Nature in Virginia is very bipolar. But once it stops doing that crap, then I have to take the wife's Jeep. She needs, I have a complete rear end for it. And I need to pull the rear end out of her Jeep and put the new rear end in it. And of course, I'm working in the driveway out in the weather. So I got to wait for the weather before I do that. And, it's just, it's one thing after another. But I'll be honest with you, because I was talking to wife and a few other people too. I don't want a new car. I mean, I'll put it to you this way. If somebody gave me a new vehicle, brand new, no matter what it is, I will be dead honest with you. I'd probably put the damn thing on Craigslist or eBay or something and try to sell it and get. If they gave me a $30,000 vehicle, yeah, I'd try to get $15,000 for it the next day, cash in hand. I could put that $15,000 to more use, honestly, than I could a $30,000 vehicle. And when I'm saying 30,000, I'm talking another truck, but that would, if it was brand new, it'd be a half-ton truck, and it wouldn't do me any good. I need 3/4 ton. But irregardless, no, I don't want a new vehicle. They have too many electronics in it. Even if it's a bare bones vehicle, you don't have electric windows or anything else. The engine, transmission, brakes, tire pressure, they all have sensors. They all have electronics in it. No, I don't want to deal with that in 5 years. I just, I don't. No, yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, Corolla is a nice car. I hate to say that, but they're a nice car. They've been decent cars for a while. They really have. Dependable, good. Everyone that I know that's had a Corolla, they've been happy with them. A Corolla doesn't fit my lifestyle, though, Eric. I need a working truck, a heavy duty 3/4 ton truck. I've been lost without it. Hey, Kenny, welcome back. I've been lost without my truck. My brother-in-law has a truck. It's a half-ton Chevy GMC truck. Nice little truck, but it's not my truck. And, I don't want to be dumping wood, metal, parts, and everything in the back of his truck all the time. My old Dodge can handle it. And if I scratch it, nobody's going to notice. So yeah, it's one of those things. I don't want a new vehicle. They're too expensive. They got too many electronics in them. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but that engine I built for my truck, I built it. I got rid of the throttle body. I'm not going, a TBI on that engine. I'm basically going to be bypassing the what is that, ODB OBD1 computer, the little brain box. I'm going back to pretty much all analog, where because I've already replaced the brain box on it once, and those are getting real hard to find, and they're getting very expensive. So I don't want to be stuck with a decent vehicle that won't run because it doesn't have a brain box to operate the electronics on the engine. So I went back to a carburetor. I went back to a aftermarket. This is one thing I did do. I'm keeping the electronic ignition instead of points, but it's a one-wire ignition. So it's pretty simple. And just in case, I do have a stock old Dodge points distributor that can be thrown in there to get me home if something goes wrong. Um, I'm also putting a mechanical fuel pump on it. I set that engine up for mechanical fuel pump as well as the electric fuel pump in the tank, because the carburetor I got will feed from both sides, and I'll have the electric hooked up on one side and mechanical on the other side, and through a series of valves and everything, only one will work at a time, so I can choose between the two. Sitting vehicle, well, it all depends. Yeah, if you want to keep the plates on it, it doesn't cost us that much. I mean, I think to register my truck for 5 years, of course, it's a 33-year-old vehicle. To register my truck for 5 years was what, $90? It wasn't much. It was under $100 to register it. In other words, keep the plates on it for 5 years. That was $90. Insurance on it. I think my truck, because I have minimum insurance on the truck, and I think that cost me right around $175 a year for insurance on it. In other words, so uh, basically a $400 fender bender, and my insurance company's not going to fix my truck. They're just going to give me the $400 for the truck and call it totaled. So that's not even worth a claim. But that's my choice. That's because I have such low insurance on it. Um, yeah, no, it really, even to keep them legal, uh, no, it doesn't cost that much um, per year. Again, depending on what you get. Now, you go out and you buy yourself a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, and you want to keep it in your garage, but still have it registered and insured and make the payments on it. And yeah, that's going to cost you a little bit of money. But something as old as my truck, see, I got a truck, got the wife's Jeep, and two motorcycles. And yeah, that it barely costs anything. I mean, even the what we have is personal property tax. The personal property tax on my truck was $15. I think the most expensive one was the wife's bike, which was $35, and you pay that every year. So again, it's probably right around less than $100 for the taxes on all the vehicles. Um, so yeah, it's not that expensive to keep a vehicle around, And here's the other thing: depending where you live, you can, pardon me, take a vehicle, put it in a garage, and you don't have to register it. You don't have to do anything. You just park it in the garage. Now, sometimes they will say, "Hey, you own this vehicle. How come it's not registered and insured?" Well, it's parked. Here's a picture. It's parked. It's a work in progress. It's not going to be on the road. And sometimes you have to prove that. Other than that, yeah, they leave you alone. Oh, and don't get me wrong. If it's in your name, they're still going to send you uh, a personal property tax bill, whether it's registered or not, if they know you own it. But I hope that answered your question, Eric. Yeah, it's really not that expensive to keep a bunch of vehicles, depending on what they are. $600 to $700 a year. Now, is that just for the registration to keep the plates on it, or does that include all the taxes, um, inspection stickers, insurance? or anything. Yeah, yeah, fix outside. Yeah, that ain't happening. That's why my truck is sitting, and the wife's Jeep needs a friggin' rear end. Mm, yeah, I'm not working, and it's well above 17 degrees, 17 and a half degrees Fahrenheit here. But yeah, no, I'm not. I'm too old. I'm too tired. Things hurt now, and the problem is they keep hurting for a longer time now. But yeah, I don't blame you, buddy. I don't blame you at all. But like I said, to keep vehicles, yeah, it's really not that expensive. What hurts here a lot of times, and again, it goes back to new vehicles or collectibles, or vehicles that are, like I said, exotic or very collectible. What gets you there is usually the damn insurance, um, and your age. That affects the insurance rates here in the states. And depending on what it is too, the personal property tax, depending where you are. Some states don't have a personal property tax, but a lot of states do. Massachusetts doesn't call it a personal property tax. They call it an excise tax. It's the same damn thing. Anything you own, uh, the local government wants you to pay for having the privilege of working your ass off to buy something you like. So they want you to pay them as well for the privilege of having it. Hmm. I probably shouldn't have said that. Damn it. But anyway, yeah, like I said, I hope that kind of answers your question. It's one of those things too. Um, yeah, yeah, Eric, I understand that. I understand that. And another thing Virginia has that quite a few other states. I think there's only 7 states um, that require a yearly inspection for your vehicle. Now, not only did we have that, but a few years ago, you used to have to get whatever county you were in, you used to have to get a county sticker as well. Now, they're not very expensive. The inspection sticker, just to have the car inspected every year, is like $25. But trust me, depending where you go, they'll find something wrong that you have to get fixed. Um, and the county stickers, which they did away with, I think they were only $10. Heck, it's been so long I can't even remember. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not even going to read that out loud because I don't know who might be listening. Matter of fact, I'm going to take it off the screen because I don't want to give any of the governments, local or federal, any friggin' ideas about that. It's one of the things we had. A few years ago, we had this deal going on that said cash for clunkers. Bring anything in there, turn it into the junkyard, and they crushed them. And a lot of people were doing this because they were paying pretty good money at the time for all these old rotting out and worthless cars, and nobody thought about the fact that you had a lot of parts on these old cars that they don't make anymore. And for people like me that are trying to keep my old truck running, it didn't have to necessarily have to come off a pickup truck. It just needed to come off of a Dodge or Chrysler product. The same with Fords, especially GMs too. And all those old cars that we used to scrounge parts off of, they're gone now. It's real hard to find anything. Um, in the boneyards that that you can get. I mean, used to have no problem, and I'm not talking about, well, yeah, of course you had no problem. Your vehicle was only 15 years old at the time. No, I'm talking about when I was growing up, it was nothing to go in there into a boneyard in the 80s and still see and find vehicles from, oh my God, from the 40s up to the early 60s. There were piles and piles of them. And that's all gone. Everything from pretty much anything from the 70s and 80s, you don't see a whole lot of them in the junkyards now. Even the 90s, my God, you're not finding a whole lot in the boneyards anymore. And trying to get parts is getting difficult. So yeah, I don't want to give the government any ideas on how to get rid of these old vehicles anymore. No, because again, I can't justify paying the money they want for a new vehicle. I just can't. And two, especially that I know, no matter how good a brand new vehicle is, eventually it's going to need work. And I can't justify paying somebody $150, $200 an hour to put brakes on a vehicle because I can't do it anymore. Because it's, stupid things like that, which is usually simple, but the way they've designed them now, I don't have the special tools and I don't have a computer to let it know I changed the brakes. So, yeah, I don't want to deal with that. Things wear out. And I'm not the type of person that changes vehicles every 5 years. Matter of fact, the last truck I owned, I had for 27 years. When I get something I like, I have a tendency to hang on to it. And I really didn't even want to get rid of that truck, but I didn't have room for both trucks at the same time. So one had to go. And I'll be honest with you, I had that old truck longer than I had the wife and kids. So it was kind of like putting down the family dog. It broke my heart to get rid of it. All right, Eric. Now the insurance company deals with road tax, and y'all only pay them for everything. Also, a date thing is gone. Good deal. Register on and off as you please. Yep, good, good. Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I'll have to check that out, man. I'll have to check out his channel and see that because I'm sure it's the same damn thing going on here in the States. It wouldn't surprise me a bit. It wouldn't. So you guys, well, I mean, so uh, England, Great Britain, God, even people from there can't tell me the difference between the two terms. But I guess they had the same idea as cash for clunkers or whatever. Getting rid of all these old vehicles. Again, when your whole country is the size of one of our states, yeah, there's not a whole lot of room left for junk to be hanging around. Oh, yeah, yeah, I would cry over that. I would. Not that I could ever afford rare cars, really. Well, I shouldn't say that. Yes, I can afford rare cars, but not anything that's rare and valuable at the same time. You know, there's a difference. Like even my truck is becoming very rare, but that doesn't make it extremely valuable. It just means it's something that I like. And here's a good example too. This transmission. Last month, I went and I checked price and availability of transmissions from several reputable transmission shops. I mean, that's all they deal with. Okay, and they all told me the same thing. Yeah, we only have they're getting hard to get a hold of, and we only have one or two left, depending on who I call. I went through 6 of them a month later. So actually 6 weeks later, when I finally got the money to get this transmission, I went through 6 of them. The first 5, which I had contacted before, yeah, they don't have the transmission anymore, and they're not planning on rebuilding them anymore or even building them. And this is the 46RH, which is the hydraulic operated overdrive transmission. Excuse me. The 46RE, oh, they got boatloads of them, and they're keeping up with them. They're focusing on them, and that's the electronic version of my transmission. And I asked them, what's going on? They said, we just can't get the parts. They just for everything we need, that they're just nobody's making them. Nobody's making the parts anymore. And that's one of the reasons why I'm keeping my transmission, because 90% of everything in there now is new. Just got to figure out what the problem is with it. Obviously, I'm not smart enough to, but as long as I got the parts, I can find somebody that is more knowledgeable and can probably figure that transmission out for a price. And that's the problem. I don't have the time to wait on somebody to do that, and I don't have the the cash to try and see if this works. So I'm actually coming out ahead, though, with having both transmissions, keeping the new one I'm getting and keeping the old one. Because, I mean, what the hell? I got 2 engines. Actually, I have 4 engines. 3 of them are Dodge. One's a Mazda. And, yeah, I plan on hooking this transmission up to that engine that will be going in the truck. Make sure that engine is fine, solid, and there's no Chinesium infection in it. And make sure everything works good on it. And I'll put that engine in that truck, and I'll have a good engine, good transmission. Drivetrain is fine. Suspension on it is all new. Brakes are all new on it. Everything on that, body might fall off of it, but the rest of the truck is solid. And yes, sir, Eric. Yep, I'm still driving the truck work-wise. Matter of fact, my nephew Kenny is a truck driver as well. Oh yeah, I came. Yeah, I have a Mazda 6-cylinder V6 engine. It was for my daughter's car. Matter of fact, I got a video up of it. She blew the engine in her Tribute. I think that's what it was, or no, I can't remember what it was. And so I had to put another engine in it for her. And then the rest of the car went to hell. So we saved the engine and got rid of the rest of the car, and I got the engine sitting in my shed. It's now you have to understand, my daughter is not a girly girl, all right, and she hates princess and girly colors and everything like that. So to be a smart ass, I painted her entire engine lime green and hot pink, and that's because I did all the work. So I got to choose the colors. So yeah, there's a video of it up there, and a video of it running in the car, and all the work I did to it, and everything. But yeah, I kept the engine. I got the engine out in my shed right now. I also have a 5.2 liter Magnum 318 Magnum. There's a partial video of that up. I tore it down. I never built it. It's all in pieces in the shed. And then I have that purple engine that I built for my truck, which is a 91 360. And then once I swap that, I'll have the original 92 360 I'm keeping that engine, and I'll go through that engine as well, because it's always good to have a spare. It's always good to have a backup. And you never know. What I'd like to do with that 318 is, honestly, it's a nice little engine. It's a Magnum, and what I'd like to do with it is put a small stroker in it. Do what they used to do to the old 340s. And what they used to do to the old 340s is take a 360 crank, which is a longer stroke, and machine down the main bearings so that they'll fit, because they have two different size bearings between the 340, 318, and 360. 360 has bigger main bearings. But they'd put that 360 crank in the 318, and that would turn it. Well, they'd actually put it in a 340, and it would give them a little bit longer stroke. You can do that with the 318 as well. The only difference is the 360 40 over pistons would bolt right in using the same connecting rods as the 340, and it would bolt right in, because the 360 piston is the shortest, lightest piston out of all the Mopar small blocks. But they do make a 360 crank, and it's internally balanced, and it's designed for the 318, and you can get the stroker kit with the pistons and bolt it right in. I'd like to do that with that 318, and depending on if I have to overbore it or not, using the stock bore, it turns the 318 into a 344 cubic inch engine. But anyway, oh yeah, now this here is oh my God, it's bigger than that, because it came out of an SUV. I can't remember. I think it's a 3-liter, or it might be. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a 3-liter, 3.0. You'd have to check my videos. I've forgotten what it is now. But it's the same engine that they use in Fords as well as Mazdas. And this one, they had two of them. They had a variable valve timing, because it's overhead cam. It's dual overhead cam, 2 cams on each bank. And they had 2 types of engines. They had one with the variable valve, and the predecessor to that was a non-variable valve timing, and that's the engine I have. And those ones seem to last a lot longer, from what I've been finding out when I was doing the research on that engine. Just like anything else. One less moving part to fail. So this is a non-variable valve timing engine, which can be upgraded and converted to a variable valve timing engine if you want it to be. But again, those are projects. Well, that 318, that's a project for way on down the road. And I wouldn't be opposed to, if I could find a AMC Javelin, even a little Dodge Dart or something like that. I wouldn't be opposed to picking one up that needs an engine and transmission, and boom, tossing either the 318 or the 360 out of this truck into it. That's the thing I like about the older vehicles. I can do that stuff in my yard. If I'm physically capable. I'm getting older now, things hurt, but so I'm teaching the grandkids how to do stuff, so I can just talk them through it. have them do all the grunt work for me. But even with that being said, just the fact that yeah, I can actually work on the vehicles that I have. Not that I really enjoy it or want to, but I can still work on them and keep them going, so I can get from point A to point B. Not that I always succeed. I mean, this transmission is a failure. I failed on that. I'm not going to let it beat me though, because I'm going to keep it and I'll figure out where I went wrong or what the actual problem is with that transmission. But in the meantime, I got to get that truck on the road. So, yep, I got another transmission. This one defeated me, but I'll figure it out, or I'll find somebody that can help me figure it out, and we can go through that thing. And it will eventually work again. And then, hey, you never know, 10 years from now, when nobody can find one of these transmissions or enough parts to put it together, I might be sitting on a little gold mine. I might be able to get a few $1,000s for the transmission. You never know. Might be worth it in the long run. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of what's going on in my life here right now. Just waiting on weather and parts. Oh, okay, Eric. I'm sorry. I was off in La La Land for a second. Funny thing, I'm not used to hearing 318s around here, but I have heard them on several YouTube channels. Funny part is the starter sounds just like my small European Ford Sierra. Yeah, Ford Pinto. Yep, I gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, Dodge starters. Oh my God. Um, and I'm drawing a blank. I have a brain fart. Because there's a name for those starters and for the reason why they sound the way they do. God. And I can't think of it right now. I'm drawing a blank. But yeah, but I'll tell you this much: the newer style, smaller ones, smaller starters, they're not as bad. They're not as bad sounding as the older big ass starter. Reduction gear, I think, is what it was called. God, I can't remember. I think that's what we called them. Anyway, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. The starters on a lot of Mopars have a very distinctive sound, very distinctive whine when they're cranking over, and you could always tell. Well, at least I could always tell just by hearing a Dodge crank over. That's Mopar, as opposed to Chevy or Ford at the time. But and yeah, I don't know if hey, you want to hear something nice? I was the last video I made of the truck actually running when I was testing out the transmission. If you have a good set of speakers, listen to that video, because the exhaust on that truck, I put a new exhaust on it, and man, it sounds so nice. It really does. If you don't have something that has a good bass, you're not really going to pick it up, because a lot of it is in the background. But man, that thing sounds nice. And this is This is me sitting in the cab of the truck driving it while actually the wife was recording. But yeah, if you got a good set of speakers or a good set of headphones, check out that video, and you'll hear a nice quote unquote American V8. It does sound nice. I drove it yesterday. I drove the truck yesterday because I have to face it the other way in the driveway for when the transmission comes. And I was thinking the same thing. Damn, this thing sounds so nice. And it's running good right now. It's just that I can't trust the transmission on it. And I don't want to end up tearing it up. So, but yeah, and I do miss driving it. I mean, I just like the old vehicles. I just like the old truck. You know, it's nice. I remember when I bought my Ford. Oh, yeah, same here. I'd literally throw my head around if I heard that starter sound nowadays. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, not too many of them. Not for daily drivers, anyway. And that's what my truck is, supposedly, when it's running. But yeah, it was a good daily driver. And again, it's not pampered. It's not garage kept. On a regular basis, it hauls heavy stuff. My camper, when it's fully loaded, is around 2,000 pounds, 1 ton. And so that would be what, 800 kilos or something like that. Each kilo is 2.2 pounds. So yeah, 2,000 pounds would be like a little over or right around 800 kilos. I'm guessing just off the top of my head, 880 kilos, something like that. And as far as wood goes for my wood stove, my God, I've carried twice that in green, wet oak firewood. So the truck, the truck is not babied. I try not to abuse it, but it definitely does work. It's not a pavement princess, and it goes off road. Nothing major, but a lot of dirt roads and even what some people would call pathways, as long as they're about 7 feet wide, because the damn truck is 6 feet wide, 2 meters almost, 1.8 meters, I think, wide, something like that. I'm pulling this off the top of my head doing the conversions. But yeah, it's a pretty wide truck. I'll put it to you this way. I am only 5'9". My truck is 6 feet. My truck is wider than I am tall. So yeah, and 2 meters would equal out to 6 foot 6 inches, 6.5 feet tall. So it's a little bit less than 2 meters. About that much shorter than 2 meters. But anyway, as I was saying, yeah, my old Ford. And that's as far as I got because I forgot what I was going to say. You know. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah, you divide it by 2 roughly because, yeah, 1 kilo equals 2.2 pounds. Not that I'm a drug dealer, but I do remember that. And so, yeah, for quick math, 1 ton is, just a little bit under 1,000 kilos. And the truck carries that on a regular basis. Plus more. You can double that too. I've had up to probably right at probably right at 2,000 kilos, because it was right around 4,200 pounds, 4,400 pounds, roughly a little bit over two tons, pushing 2.25 tons on the back of it, just in wood. So it's definitely definitely a heavy truck, a strong truck. It's a good old truck. But yeah, and like I said, I like trucks. But anyway, Eric, look, it was good talking to you. It was good talking to everyone. Pretty much, I think everyone else has left, and I'm getting hungry, and the wife is awake now. So I think I'm going to call it quits now, and end this live stream for a bit. But man, it was good. It was good conversing with you. I really that was nice. It's good seeing you, buddy. And y'all take care. And I'm gonna head out of here. I'm gonna go stuff my face, man. I'm hungry. So y'all have a good weekend. Be safe, and we'll catch you next time. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow morning or not. It all depends on how bad I piss off the wife tonight, on whether or not I can get up. So y'all take care, and we'll catch you next time. We'll see you. Oh yes, Happy New Year, sir. Yep, before I hit the final end button here. Good seeing you. Happy New Year. I forgot about that. It's been a while. All right, buddy. You take care.